What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Mile High Misfits. So, in this episode, I wanted to talk about T-tops. And today, I don't want to talk about this one. I want to talk about this one. So before I go into the video, I did want to explain exactly what this is. So this is a transparent acrylic T-top for your C5 Corvette. And this is actually an OEM option that you can get with the C5. However, you can now get them aftermarket online from other vendors. So now let's talk about the pros and cons to having a transparent top on your C5 Corvette. So starting off with the pros list, the first one obviously is the glass top looks sweet. It makes the interior of the car feel a little less claustrophobic, and you get a much better view of your surroundings on some of those more scenic drives. For the second one, this roof lets in a ton of sunlight, so when it gets a little chillier out, the car stays a lot warmer. Especially living here in Colorado, there are many days where it is ass-biting cold when I get in the car. But having the glass roof on it makes it a little bit more bearable. And lastly, for the pros list, this transparent roof is slightly lighter than the color-matched roof, and although it's negligible for weight reduction as far as performance-wise, it makes it a lot easier to remove the top and put it in the trunk. The color-matched roof weighs about 24 pounds, whereas the acrylic roof weighs about 21 pounds. Now it's time to talk about the downsides of the transparent roof. When I bought my Corvette, it came with both the color-matched roof and the transparent roof, and it's a cool feature to have. However, once I got home and I looked around my garage, all I could think was, oh crap, where do I store this thing? You can store it in the back of the Corvette, but what happens when you want to take the top off and store that in the trunk? Then you need to find a secondary storage for the glass top. So, if you plan on keeping both tops, make sure to have a spot to keep the spare. The next thing on the list is that if your car does not come with a transparent roof, these things are expensive to buy aftermarket. You can find used ones on Facebook Marketplace and eBay for about $600, but if you want to buy a new one, they can be upwards of $1,000. Now, on to number 3. These tops look amazing when they're new, but over time, the acrylic on the top layer begins to degrade and crack. You'll begin to see some sun fading and hazing, but once it gets bad enough, you'll begin to lose visibility out of the top. This can be fixed though. One thing that a lot of people do is they sand down the top layer and remove the acrylic, and then from there they'll clear coat it or put a layer of clear vinyl wrap over the top to protect it. This can produce some great results. Although if the bottom layer of the glass cracks, this cannot be repaired, and these tops are much more susceptible to damage than the OEM color-matched ones. Now finally, the roof lets in a lot of sunlight, which can be a good thing. But this can also be a very bad thing. When the sun is beaming down on your face, it can be blinding. But not only that, on those hot summer days sitting in traffic, the heat is absolutely brutal. My AC can't even keep up with the heat sometimes with this top, so that's another thing to consider. There are shades that you can buy from some companies for the transparent top that will combat this during those hot days, but at that point, you might as well just put the color-matched top back on the car. And not only is the sun super hot, but it's also very damaging to your interior components. Things like your dashboard and your seats might begin to crack because of the UV rays. Well guys, that's all I've got for pros and cons on the transparent top. Let me know down in the comments if there's any that I missed. And as always guys, if you enjoyed that content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for future content. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.